What was the most shocking? A Texas victory in Tuscaloosa, a North Carolina Utah letdown that almost caused a defeat, Miami's blowout victory of A&M, or another Colorado victory? I'm gonna start with Jared Cole at the top.
All right, finally. Look, it's real easy here. It's the Texas win over Bama, but it's probably not for the reasons that you absolutely think off the rip. Look, Quinn Ewers looked like a Heisman winning quarterback. The cat sat back there like he was strolling through the park, not worried at all, not one time. And as far as I know, he didn't get sacked not one time. His offensive line played like one of the best offensive lines in the country, if not the best. They held Alabama to 107 yards rushing. They sacked Bama 5 times. Their receivers could play on any team in the country. There's not another starting receiver that would, other than maybe the Ohio State receiving core, that really would even match them. Texas came to play. Texas came to play with a great game plan, and everybody came and played like some dogs. And let's not forget, they did it in Tuscaloosa. Alabama doesn't lose there. And the biggest part about it for me is, I know it was 34-24. If Texas would have not had some drops, they could have scored 45. I mean, they really could have, and I don't think that's a giant stretch. On the other side of the ball there, Alabama, like we talked about a few minutes ago, the dog is gone. Dallas Turner, who I've heard about all offseason, never saw him. Never heard him, never saw him, nothing. The defensive line got smoked every time they tried to, take a snap. The offensive line got blown away on pass block. I'll give them credit. In the first quarter, Alabama could run the football. And then for some reason, Tommy Rees just figured that wasn't good enough anymore, and then he decided he wanted to sling it around. And that was not Jalen Milroe's strong suit. We saw Jalen Milroe. When he rolled out, he was a guaranteed 10 yards every time. But when his offensive line did give him some time, he left the pocket too early. So, I think he freaked out a little bit in times when he really didn't need to. And there were a few balls where I thought the receivers were open for a touchdown, got a step or two on the DBs, and he just underthrew the football. So Texas is back. I don't think that's a hard word to say anymore. Texas is back, and they should be able to roll through the rest of their schedule. If Quinn Ewers keeps playing like this, man, just give him the high. It's really that plain and simple.
Yep.
Craig, what you got?
Man, I would like to go with the obvious answer of the Texas Alabama, but I'm gonna go with the Jimbo Fisher experiment at Texas A&M. Brother, I said it last week and nobody heard me because I did not pick A&M to win that game. I picked Miami. I didn't figure it'd be a butt whooping. That's a bad situation going on down there. Petrino, it's backing up bad, man. It'd be different if they didn't pay that dude. I forgot what his salary was, but it was a lot. They got the biggest NIL war chest in the country. All that oil money out there. They got real nice facilities now. There is absolutely no excuse for that team to get blown out by Miami on the road, ever. None, zero, and look bad doing it. Offense looked bad. Everything looked bad. That was just a bad loss.
How bad has the SEC looked in the first 2 weeks out of conference?
God, not good, man. Not good.
Not good.
That's been a little burning. I hate to say, and it's too early to call it. You don't want to call it that soon that the SEC's done with their dominance because, let's just face it, they're still dominant. But we'll have to see how the rest of the season pans out. But man, they look pretty flat at the beginning. But that's my that Jimbo Fisher seat's getting hot and hot and hot and hot. He's in Texas. He's gonna have some ribs cooked if he don't take it easy.
Coach Price, what you got for me?
I totally agree. Jimbo Fisher. It's awful. He's got to go, man. It's awful. Miami is a mediocre team. They're not elite ACC. But what Jimbo is proving to me is you can pay for elite talent, but you can't develop it. You got the kids on the team, but you can't develop it. And the recruits that you got on that team could have been developed at Georgia, Alabama, Clemson, or Auburn better than what they're being developed there as in Texas, right now, the Jimbo and the rest of that dumb squad. I can't stand him. I think he's just a little prick. He just run his mouth too much. He's confident all the time, but it never pans out. He wants to blame somebody else for everything. You tell me right now, when has Jimbo actually stepped up in a press conference and took the blame? It's always something. or we need to tackle better, or we just need to get guys that can catch the ball, or we need to get a quarterback that can look downfield. How about no, dude? Why don't you start developing the players that you recruit or the players that you're paying for? You got some of the best in the country. That class that you signed with all them 5 stars, unheard of. Unheard
That,
of.
it's definitely to me it was Texas, Miami. That's why Jimbo moved to Texas. It's the big. I mean, it's the only state that can hold his huge ego. You know, I mean, he brings in Bobby Petrino, which is a known great play caller, and it still looks like the same Jimbo offense. It's almost like he's still overruling, things. And look, Miami is decent. Texas A&M is loaded on defense, and I mean loaded with 5-star talent. And they give up 48 points to Miami.
Dump truck.
It's for me. It's definitely Texas A&M losing that bad to Miami.
Tyler Van Dimes, baby.
Yeah,
Wrap
right.
us up,
Well, I was gonna go Miami with the blowout win over A&M, but I think everybody's done did it. So I'll go out on a limb, do a quick one with Colorado. I don't, shout out Buff. There, let's go. Had to break that childhood toy out. But I think we all expected Colorado to win this week. In their who they just beat.
Nebraska.
Yeah, we all expected that. Yeah, exactly. But I think it's just impressive that they're going to continue this on. Like, I think their preseason win total was 3.5, and we're talking about a team that's probably going to win 8 games. Like,
It's
real.
impressive.
They're about to be 3-0 come Saturday.
They're real. Yep.
Yeah.
I think the tell-all with Colorado, and we'll speak on this more next week. We expect them to win against Colorado State on ESPN on Saturday night, but let's be honest. We're waiting for next week. It's USC. And if they somehow beat USC, the cards are on the tables. I mean, let's be honest. It will be
That
the
game's
top
going to be in the 40s.
every week, and they will enter the top 10. There's no doubt about it. And rightfully so.